Welcome again, everyone. So today's session will focus on the entrepreneurial mindset and competencies for us nurses. Okay. Many nurses think or mistakenly believe that entrepreneurship is an innate trait, that you are either born as an entrepreneur or you are not. However, many have already emphasized that innovation and entrepreneurship can be learned. Evidence-based competencies that can be deliberately developed are already present around us. Furthermore, it was also highlighted that when nurses pair our natural clinical problem-solving skills with economic literacy, risk assessment, and leadership competencies, we can become uniquely equipped to lead healthcare businesses, nurse-led clinics, and intrapreneurial hospital projects. Okay. Let's examine the core characteristics that define the nurse entrepreneur. Creativity and innovation means nurses can exercise creativity daily when solving bedside problems. Uh, Entrepreneurial creativity is not just about brainstorming wild ideas, but it is about evidence-based innovation, using research and clinical data to systematically design better solutions. Okay. What is calculated risk? Okay. This means this explains that nurses are inherently trained to mitigate clinical risk. However, entrepreneurs must learn to take calculated financial and operational risk. Okay. Calculated risk means conducting thorough break-even analysis, market assessments, and financial forecasting before committing capital. Resilience means being an entrepreneur, it involves setbacks. Pitch ideas get rejected, prototype testing fails, and budgets stretch and become thin. Resilience is the psychological grit that allows us, nurse innovators, to re-evaluate, adapt, and pivot without abandoning our vision. Unlike traditional corporate entrepreneurship, nurse entrepreneurship is anchored in the nursing code of ethics. So a nurse-led enterprise must balance financial sustainability with moral accountability, patient advocacy, and health equity. To execute an entrepreneurial vision, we must master the four core competencies. Okay. Leadership. Okay. Nurse innovators must practice transformational leadership. This means articulating a compelling vision that inspires colleagues, investors, and staff to embrace change and drive innovation. Critical thinking and economic reasoning is where nurses excel at the nursing process. This means assessment, diagnosis, planning, implementation, and evaluation. Entrepreneurial competence means applying this exact process to economics. Okay. Nurse leaders must understand cost-benefit ratios, resource scarcity, and financial viability to ensure that innovation can survive in the healthcare market. Communication and pitching is a major barrier for nurse entrepreneurs. This is speaking only clinical language. To secure funding or institutional backing, nurses must communicate the value proposition, explaining how the innovation improves health outcomes while simultaneously reducing operational costs or generating revenue. Interprofessional collaboration is explained that no nurse builds a company alone. You must collaborate across disciplines, working alongside mga lawyers or some regulatory compliance, accountants for financial management, and developers for technological integration. So again, leadership and vision is inspiring multidisciplinary teams and aligning stakeholder interests around shared vision and moving from transactional delegation through transactional leadership. Critical thinking and economic reasoning is applying clinical judgment to business decision making while evaluating market demand, cost behavior, and return on investment. Communication and pitching is articulating the value proposition to non-clinical stakeholders, investors, and health system executives. Is also translating complex clinical outcomes into financial and strategic terms. Lastly, interprofessional collaboration is building strategic partnership with software engineers, financial officers, legal experts, and community leaders. Before embarking on an entrepreneurial or intrapreneurial journey, every one of us nurses must conduct an honest self-assessment. Okay. There are some recommended evaluation on your innovation readiness across 3 dimensions, which are clinical evidence knowledge, which is mindset, emotional readiness, and organizational support, where you can ask yourself, am I truly identifying a widespread problem or just a personal pet interest? Another question that you can ask is that, am I open to receiving tough feedback from clinical peers and business mentors? So from an economic standpoint, okay, it was highlighted that most healthcare professionals overestimate their financial readiness. So doing self-assessment will require asking, do I understand basic accounting terms? Can I differentiate between fixed and variable operational cost? Do I know my venture's break-even point? Identifying this knowledge or these knowledge gaps is not a sign of weakness, but it is the first step in your strategic growth plans. Okay. So, in doing the nurse innovator self-assessment, a framework is presented to you where you will focus on your clinical and evidence gap, emotional and mindset gap, and financial and business gap. Now, for the clinical and evidence gap, you are assessing EBI readiness and problem identification. Under emotional and mindset gap, you are evaluating risk tolerance, ambiguity, and resilience. And financial and business gap is evaluating financial literacy, budgeting, and cost analysis. Okay. Once you identify your areas for growth, now how do you bridge the gaps? You can do this by first strengthening financial competency. Okay. So it was advised that nurse leaders must proactively seek financial education. This can include taking some continuing education units in health economics, reviewing institutional budgets with your superiors, or you can take business fundamental courses. You can also secure mentorship. Okay, mentorship that is one of the highest predictors of entrepreneurial success. You can find mentors who have successfully navigated healthcare ventures, patent processes, or nurse-led clinic setups. Then, practice intrapreneurship first. You don't need to quit your job or your present job immediately, like tomorrow, to become entrepreneurs. Start by leading an intrapreneurial project in your area where you will be assigned, such as redefining or redesigning a discharge planning workflow or piloting a new clinical technology. This builds your project management and leadership muscle in a lower risk environment. So, in the slide, we have here identifying and bridging areas for growth framework. First, strategies to bridge competency gaps. Going to or engaging with formal and informal education, taking coursework in health economics, financial management, and business administration. Then you can also engage in mentorship and sponsorship, seeking out experienced nurse entrepreneurs, healthcare executives, and startup advisors. You can also establish networking and ecosystem engagement by joining healthcare innovation hubs, professional nursing entrepreneur networks, and incubator programs. Lastly, experiential learning. Starting small through hospital unit-based quality improvement projects or intrapreneurial committees before launching an independent business. Okay, so to wrap up today's lecture, remember that nurses possess an unparalleled advantage in healthcare innovations. You are at the direct point of care every single day, or you will be. So you see what works, what fails, and where patients suffer due to system friction. By marrying your clinical expertise with the evidence-based innovation techniques and the economic and financial competencies, you can transform from a passive observer of system flaws into an empowered creator of health solutions. Take time to complete the self-assessment matrix, identify your personal growth areas, and start looking at your daily clinical practice through the lens of an innovator. This will happen when you become full-fledged nurses or registered nurses and you start your career in the nursing profession. Okay? So that concludes our topic and our discussions. Thank you very much again for listening.